back to my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I am back with Bryson today to tell the rest of his story where we ended off with Blue. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, Blue. Blue's my new dog, as I told you guys in the last one. First story was about how I met my cousin on Tinder. Creepy as hell. Then that other one was about how I met a transvestite named Brooke on Tinder. And this one is a little crazy. Viewers, grab the popcorn, get your boo thing, cuddle up, because this one's gonna be crazy. So you want to jump right into it?
Let's go ahead.
Okay, so this one, I was wanting to give up on the Tinder experience, but like I said, I have multiple stories, just because I've had so many bad memories. But this one was probably one of the worst ones. I was on Tinder scrolling.
Okay.
And this is by far one of the prettiest girls that I have seen on there. She wasn't crazy pretty, but she was definitely good looking for Tinder. Tinder's a lot of sleuths, a lot of thick bitches, some a little too thick. Nothing to you people out there that might be a little thick. I love them all. The world needs ditch diggers too. But this girl, she was just gorgeous. So, I swiped hell yeah on her. And, I didn't hear much back. I waited a couple days, and I think it's about 6 days later, I matched with her. And I was like, hell yeah, I had given up hope, but this girl stood out in my mind. And anyway, so she matched with me. Sitting there talking. We didn't really have the same interests. She was more from the city, and like I said, I was from South Dakota, so I was trying to have to pull stuff out of her, like trying to talk. Not that she didn't want to carry on the conversation, but we just, our interests were different. So it was almost a cool thing to try and learn from people. But, anyway, I think it was, a couple weeks at this point that we'd been talking. I was trying to get with her, but she kept avoiding me. Maybe not on purpose, but who knows. But as you'll find out later, hell, I'm glad she did keep avoiding me.
What was this girl's name?
This girl's name, I'm trying to think. Well, thing is though, is this girl, as you'll find out later, 2 identities.
Okay.
First, her name was Naomi, which I'll get to the other one in a second, but we'll go with Naomi first.
Okay.
So, I met up with Naomi, and I took her out to the bowling alley, for a cool date. Down in South Main Street of High Point, down there at the bowling alley. At this time I was 21. So I just turned 21, gung-ho, wanting to drink, have fun, but I also wanted to bowl. So she offered to pay for a pitcher of beer. So, we were sitting there drinking. She was having a good time too, but I could tell she wasn't drinking a lot. Which didn't bother me because, she was driving home. She had said, I'm willing to drive you home, willing to take you home, whatever, however. So I go and I'm bowling, kicking her ass.
Was it just you two?
Yeah, it was just us two. I never really thought to try and do a double date just because it's kind of tender, like I say, trying to bang and hang up. But yeah, it was just us two. Obviously there were other people there in the bowling alley, but it was just me and her there on the date. So we're bowling and everything seems good. She goes to get, we finished that pitcher of beer. And I was like, I'll pay for this next one. It's on me. I had drank most of that. I think she had like a cup and a half of beer at this point. I was just down, bottoms up, getting hammered like the front row of a Leonard Skinner concert. Anyway, so she goes, she gets a picture of the beer, comes back, and it took her a little longer this time. I didn't think anything of it. Maybe there's just a long line. You know how those old people love to go bowling, love their beer, love to get crazy. What else are they gonna do? But that's neither here nor there, guys. So she goes and brings it back, and I continue to drink it. And beer's beer. It's bowling alley beer too, so there's a bunch of smoke and shit in there. Hell, I thought it was just cool. So I'm sitting there, and I think we played 2 games, and we finished off that second pitcher, And she was like, all right, it's getting a little late. I got church tomorrow. You know, I'm about ready to go home.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, yeah, sounds cool. And I thought I was just drunk. I seemed to get a little funny feeling. But, you know, she was taking me to my house. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to go to sleep. And this was our first date. So I really didn't have any intentions of getting with this girl. You know, she was almost like, you know, so hot. You know, I didn't really think she would. It was almost just like going to hang out with some hot ass chick, take some pictures, and show my buddies. So she's taking me home, and I live about 25 minutes away from this place. And as the miles went on, the speedometer kept going, I started to feel a little drowsy. And I wasn't sure what was happening, but it wasn't like I was really tired. I almost like I felt sick. I was just like, ugh, like I was on Xans or something. I don't do drugs, by the way, kids. If any kids are watching this. But, you know, I got home, and I was barely able to make it up to the door, and I kind of felt bad because I was like, you know, 2 pitchers of beer, Mom ain't raising no bitch. I don't want this hot ass girl to think I'm a bitch. So, you know, she takes me in, and at that point, the mood kind of changed. You know, she was just like sitting there looking sketchy, you know, like trying to like move me around and stuff, and I was trying my hardest to stay up. And, you know, we keep going, and she takes me into the bedroom, and I lay there, and I was laying in the bed like, looking at the ceiling fan just spinning and spinning. And she says, she was like, so, are you gonna pay for my gas to bring you home? And I was like, I can. And so I go, and all I have is my debit card on me, but I do have a safe with cash. So I go and I point, and cash in the safe, and just give me a second, I feel bad. And she was like, no, I want you to get it now, I want to leave. But little did I know, she had put drugs in my drink.
Now, how did you find that out?
How did I find that out? Well, let me tell you. So after I said, and she was like, no, I want it. Like, she was trying to leave. And I was like, why are you in such a hurry? She was like, well, you were an easy target. And I said, what? And this is on my dad bot account, by the way, girls and guys. She was like, well, I saw some chubby guy like you, you know, you were so eager to meet me. You know, I kept talking to her. I was really wanting to meet up because, you know, she kept avoiding me. And so I was really wanting to meet her. And she was like, I thought you'd be the perfect person to drug and take all your money. And I was trying so hard to stay up, but my body just wanted to, ugh. So at this point, I'm freaking out. And like I said, it was a whole nother 180 again, or 360, I'm sorry. She's going, and I open up the safe. I was like, at this point, I just want to make it out alive. I don't know if this person's going to kill me.
Right.
What more they're going to take. Just take the cash and leave. I only had about $800 or something. You know, I had just bought a new swing set for my little cousin. Not the one I dated or went on a date with, the other one. So she took the money. And
She took all of it?
Yeah, she took all 800. And she took a little pocket watch I had in there and my glow-in-the-dark pink pistol. It was a 22 pistol. It was kind of cheap, but it was glow-in-the-dark. It was badass. I was wanting to keep it. So she took that, and I was just getting so groggy at this point. Like I was about to pass out. And all I could mumble was, help, help, help. And I thought I was doomed. I live out in the country, but you would never.
That's just so crazy.
But you would never guess what happened. You wouldn't. Guys, you like, subscribe, comment, do it all. Come back next time. We'll post another video in a week.
Yep.
I have to go down to Florida this week for a golf tournament. But when we get back, I'll tell you exactly how I escaped that crazy bitch.
Thank you, Bryson. Bye.